I did a build on a Okinos Aqua 3, Cypress 3 wood, and ARGB, and the Cypress 7 wood, which I think it does have ARGB fans included, but I will replace it with the black ones just to make it look better with the wood grain, in my opinion. I only covered Cypress 3 wood in its dedicated video, and my Aqua 3 case that I had is shown in one of my older PC flipping videos. And not gonna lie, their cases are not only great quality, but the value you can get at the price point. And I'm pretty damn excited to check out the new Okinos cases that just came out. Let me introduce you the Okinos Air Cross. This PC case is designed for you to have really good airflow, keeping your components as cold as possible, even colder than the snow in Montana. Where we have the beautiful wood grain look on the front of the case and no RGB inside of it. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys the review of this PC case as well as my experience building on it and the overall build quality and everything like that. So from what Okinos has been claiming, they do have wood, steel, and plastic, which is what the case is made of, but I can see that there's very little wood and plastic on it, which is only in the front of the case. They said that it's a mid-tower case, and not gonna lie, it's really not that big of a case compared to one of the more expensive ones that usually take up some of your desk space. It supports motherboards from ATX, which is the standard size, and it's all the way down to ITX, which why do you want an ITX motherboard in this case if you can just get something smaller that can fit that board more appropriately? Because otherwise, with an ITX motherboard with any cases with that size that I'm reviewing today, it's gonna look kind of silly if I'm being honest with you. For the graphics card, you can mount up to 400mm, which you could literally fit an RTX 5090 if you really want to. Plus, with the power supply, you can fit less than 170mm. Oh, speaking about the graphics card, it also has a built-in GPU side bracket for those who have a really beefy RTX graphics card or even one of those high-end Radeon cards from AMD. With the CPU cooler, if you're using a tower cooler, then it's going to be up to 180mm. So the fan configuration, you can fit one 140 or 120 on the back, 3 120s or 3 140s on the top, which you can fit up to a 360mm. And then on the front, there's 2 140mm fans, which you cannot fit anything smaller or bigger on it. But on the bottom, which is where it's on top of the power supply shroud, which is 2 120mm fans included. So on the front I/O ports, they do have 2 USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports, I think, and 1 Type-C, which is probably the same generation USB port, but in the Type-C form, and 1 headphone/microphone combo jack. The reset button is on the top, but if you want to look for the power button, it's actually in the wood part of the front PC case on the very right, where it has a big button. It's easy to press, you can turn on the PC. So inside of its included box, you will see a 130mm that is not pre-installed at all. It does include the 4 screws that's inside of the right box, and it has the manual, and of course, like I mentioned, the right box with the screws, zip ties, and of course there is some kind of wood certificate. I forgot to mention that this case do support BTF or back connect support, so if you want to have cables hidden completely, then there you go. The power supply is on the front. That way, the GPU or whatever that's on the PCIe slot can get some fresh air from the outside of the case. So on the back of the computer case, they do have 2 SSDs where it goes where the cables are coming from the power supply that is in the bottom front of the case. And then there's 1 hard drive slot where you can actually put behind the motherboard tray, closest to where the CPU cord is supposed to go when you keep it monitored. On the back, there is 1 little connector where you can power the PC, and it has a power extension cord where it goes to the power supply that was installed in the front of the case, along with the back I/O port. But on the front, you can actually push the mesh panel and then it'll come out, so you can change the fans if you want to, or whatever. You can adjust the fans if you use it for a certain amount of time. Alright, so now it's time for the review. So overall, my build experiences with this case is pretty easy to build in, honestly, since it has a lot of space for whatever parts you want to throw in. It could be either a high-end system or more of a budget system like I've been doing to literally almost all my PCs out there. And yeah, I did not fully test the temperatures and the noise levels, but all I'm saying is that this PC runs really good in all the games that I play in, and the noise levels is really quiet. If you're looking for a black/wood grain case on the market, this is it for you. Because I think Okinos is probably one of my favorite brands when it comes to cases like this, or the RGB part of the case, like the Cypress 3 ARGB or the other models. So the parts that I put in was a Ryzen 7 3700X MSI B350 Tomahawk, 32GB of RAM, which is the Team Group Elite Series DDR4, RTX 2060 Super 8GB, and I believe a EVGA 600 GD power supply, or I forgot what matter since I sold it already, and 1TB SSD, PC cooler, one of those black coolers they have, and that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to this channel, and then turn on the notification so you don't miss none of the videos that I'll be making. And toss a like if you enjoyed it so far. Comment your thoughts, or if you've done a build on it already, let me know. I'm open for whatever you want to say about it. Peace.